Hello students, hope you all are healthy. I Anjali Patel once again welcome you all to my class, and this video is for class 7, and today we will start the second chapter of history. It will continue Rise of Kingdoms. But before that students, I have given you some questions in homework in our last class. So let's discuss the answers of that questions first. First homework question was, what are the different assumptions about the origins of Rajput? The answer is, some other assumptions about the origin of Rajput are, they were descendants of Central Asian tribes settled in India after the Hun invasion. Next point, according to some Rajput clan, they were Suryavanshi belonging of Sun family or Chandravanshi belonging of Moon family. Next, some Rajput clans considered themselves as part of fire family, means Agni Kula. Some believe that they were born out of sacrifice in fire. And the next question was, name some important Rajput clans, and the answer is, some important Rajput clans that ruled during this period were the Tomars, Chauhans, Solankis, Paramars, Gadwals and the Chandels. Administration in the early medieval period in North India. Now, administration, what is the meaning of administration? Means what was the rules, policies to continue the rule in the kingdom, will come to know in this topic. So who was the main power who lead the whole administration? So the king has the main power of the kingdom. So ultimately the king was the main head of the kingdom, and the king was titled as Prabhatrak and Maharaja Dhiraj. किंग को एक उपाधि टाइटल दिया गया था, उपाधि प्रबत्रक एंड महाराजा धीराज. The different departments was given into hands of different ministers, and most important minister was called Mahamantri. Now students, kingdom was divided into small units to substitute the power or to maintain the administration properly. So the kingdom was divided into bhuktis, and the bhuktis was divided into vishyas, and the vishyas was divided into village. So the smallest unit of the kingdom was village. Now, who is responsible for the administration for the kingdom? As I have told you, king was the main power. So the king was responsible for the administration of kingdom, the whole kingdom, and bhuktis, the governor, were responsible for the administration of bhuktis, and the vishyapatis were responsible for the administration of vishyas and village. The administration of village was looked after by the village headman or Gramapati. Now, who look after the school, the local schools, the water tanks, temples and roads of the villages? So there were different committees who look after the schools, water tanks, temples and the road maintenance. Different committees with village work for the maintenance of all these schools, water tanks, temples and road construction. One more thing about the administration of the early medieval period is army. So the king had his own army, and he himself was the commander-in-chief of the army, and the main parts of the army was the cavalry, the infantry, the elephants and so on. Now, the next one topic is social life. So the basis of the social life of the Rajputs were the caste system, means they believe in caste system rigidly. The Rajputs were Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas means the Rajputs were warriors, Yodha. they perform the responsibility of the warriors. And according to Al-Biruni, who wrote in his book Tehkeek-e-Hind that caste system was very rigid during the period and the position of women's declined. The positions of women's were not good during this period because of the practice of sati pratha and child marriage on a large scale. And only the princes were allowed to choose their husbands in the ceremony of Swayamvar. Now, the next one topic is economic life. How was the economic life in the medieval period in North India? So, the main occupation of the people. The main occupation of the people during this period was agriculture. Mostly the people were dependent on the agriculture. And apart from agriculture, there was also trade with other countries. Different items were exported and imported during this period. So students, the trade was with the Western countries and with Asia and China. And the main items of export was spices, textiles and stones. And the items of import was precious stones, precious metals and horses were imported in our country. There were many Rajput clans and many kings of the clans was there. So they issued their own coins during their rule. So there were a lot of coins, and due to the increase in number of coins, the intrinsic value of the coins declined during this period. Now, what is intrinsic value? Intrinsic value means the true value of the coin, means what the customer wants to pay is the intrinsic value of the coin, and intrinsic value of the coin declined because of the increase in number of the coins. Now, the next one topic is different invasion akraman. Different invasions take place during medieval period in North India, and the motto of the invasion was to take away the wealth of our country. Now, who were the invaders who entered India to invade the temples and to take away the wealth? For example, Mahmud of Ghazni and the Muhammad Ghori, and their main aim was to take away the wealth. Now student, the next one topic is South India. So, who were the rulers who ruled in South India during medieval period? The Pallavas, the Pandyas and the Cholas were the three powerful kingdoms, and there was a continued conflict, or there was a continued struggle between three dynasties to rule over the southern part of India. Now, the first one ruler, the Pallavas of South India. So, the Pallavas, and the capital of the Pallavas was Kanchi. The kingdom was very powerful. The Pallavas kingdom was very powerful in 7th and 8th centuries, and they built many beautiful temples during their rule. But Cholas defeated Pallavas and ended their rule. Now students, will continue with our next ruler, the Cholas, in our next class. Till then, do your homework questions properly, read the chapter and do all your work properly. Till then, stay safe and